G'day guys, my name is Trent, aka LaxLime, bringing you a PGL playoff. So this playoff is between the two head teams of the Alpha Conference, which happen to be myself and the York Klinks, who is headed up by PaPaSea. His link will be in the description as usual. I only versed Papa, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I ended up taking a pretty narrow victory of 1-0, mainly because of his Talonflame sort of wrecked my team towards the end, and it actually went down recoil. So I was pretty determined not to let that happen again. I was sort of coming in pretty quietly confident. My team I'm running a very bulky team compared to what I normally would, just to be able to survive most of the threats on his team. Like he's got a lot of bulk too, like the Gastrodon, Scizor, Garchomp, Deoxys D can all be really annoying Pokemon to get rid of. So yeah, well, you know what? We'll just get straight into battle and see how we go. So I actually decided to lead out with my Diancie, basically because I wanted to set up some Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks was super important. I know this thing can potentially carry the Surf, however I knew it would probably only do about half to me, and then that's still enough to be able to take a Brave Bird from the Talonflame, and then be able to kill it with a what's it called? Diamond Storm. So I was pretty happy with that. I was able to get the Stealth Rocks up because I'm really scared about that Talonflame ruining me again. But he hasn't actually carried Defog in any of these battles. So yeah, he doesn't have Defog. And he doesn't have a Spinner. So the rocks are pretty much there to stay. I do go switch into the Jirachi after the Surf because I knew the Surf wasn't going to do anything on the specially defensive Jirachi, which it didn't, and I'm pretty much able to set up the light screens at this point. I was actually predicting the knockoff coming from the Deoxys on the next turn, and I really didn't want to lose my light clay, because if I lost my light clay, like the screens would just not be really that good. So I decided to make the switch out to Sableye because one, it's my Mega, and then two, it's neutral damage. But he ends up taking up the Spikes. Because I am going to obviously Mega Evolve, I sort of predicted that he was probably going to switch out here, and I went for the Will-O-Wisp, hoping that he would go into one of his physical mons to be able to take the Will-O-Wisp, and then it wouldn't really work out for him. But he ends up actually going to the Gastrodon at this point. I would really prefer the Toxic on this Gastrodon because it is such an annoying Pokemon to kill. I hate Gastrodons. Unless if you can make a really good prediction on these things, they're just so annoying to take out. So yeah, I'm at least able to get a burn. It's like gets residual damage and it helps in the long run. He does go for the Toxic. Must have forgot about the Magic Bounce. I'm not 100% sure, but I do go for the knockoff at this point, and just be able to knock off those leftovers as well. So the burn and no leftovers is really going to rack him up, and it should be easy to deal with. I do decide to switch out at this point and go back into Jirachi. Mainly thought of thinking I can get a light screen up, because like a lot of my mons on my team are a little bit weak to Earth Power, but I know if I've got screens up, then the Earth Power's not really going to bother me too much. So that was basically the plan, and from here I was just going to pretty much U-turn out and switch into one of my offensive mons to try to take this out. Now, the only Pokemon that I had with HP Grass or a Grass type move was actually Entei, but I thought if I bought in Entei at this point, it'd probably be pretty predictable that I do have the HP Grass. So I decided to bluff it actually on my Keldeo. I do have HP Fire on Keldeo here for the Scizor, but I thought the bluff might work, and then I can go for a Calm Mind and start, putting some damage on some mons. The only problem is with this Keldeo, I completely misgendered it. It doesn't have the moves I need. It's got Surf, it's got Calm Mind, I think it's got HP Fire, and then I put Secret Power on it, not Secret Sword. It was just a bit of a, so I can't actually do anything to Gastrodon. So I'm glad he switched out there and took the bait, or I would have just been looking like an idiot, really. I would have looked like an idiot. So I'm pretty much just going to go for the Surf here, hoping that he will do a decent chunk of damage to this guy. And you know what, it does, and I end up getting a critical hit, which I sort of felt a little bit bad about, because I really wanted it to be a non-Haxy game, because you feel bad in a playoff sort of situation. It should be really the better player or the better prepper or the better, you know what I mean, taking out the win rather than winning from a from complete hacks and everything. I switched into Gougy here, mainly because I wanted to get some damage off on anything. I sort of figured that he'd probably switch out here, fearing that I could really hit this Gastrodon. I can probably only do 50% to it max, so I pretty much just hoping he switches out so I can go for a Dragon Pulse and get like at least 50% off on whatever Pokemon that he decides to bring in. He does decide to bring in this Mew, and you know, Dragon Pulse actually does a decent chunk of damage to this thing. I'm super happy about that, and I can basically just go straight into Sableye, who pretty much walls out this this Mew. Like, even it doesn't gleam, only does like 20% to it, just by the way that I've set it up. He ended up going for Psychic on that turn and has to switch it out. Now, I really thought that the Mew was probably scarfed or choiced in some way, just by the way that he did do that. But yeah, you know, you never know. I'm pretty sure, like, in the past he has run an Expert Belt, so I was sort of tossing up and hoping that he was choiced, because it probably would be a little bit easier, because he's got so much coverage moves. At least I can sort of predict and, you know, make some risky plays later on. So yeah, I pretty much bring in Gastrodon here, mainly just to set up the light screen again, just so it is around for a little bit longer, and then the plan sort of was just to go for Iron Head Flinches to take this thing down and pretty much kill it. Unfortunately, well, no, you know what, it's not unfortunately, because he actually goes for the Earth Power and he gets the critical hit, so that means the Jirachi has gone down. So the critical hit on the Deoxys and the Gastrodon, or the Jirachi, evens out, so I was happy about that. Like, I was okay with that. But this is perfect time for me just to actually go back into the Gougy, and just go for the Dragon Pulse. I can survive a couple of moves from this thing. This is an interesting set that I decided I wanted to try out, mainly because I didn't think he would predict it or think it was coming, and I sort of thought it would work really, really well on the Garchomp, especially with Rocks Up. So 2 Dragon Pulses and the Gastrodon is down. I'm glad he stayed in, and he pretty much just makes the play that I wanted him to make, which is go into the Garchomp. This is a choice scarfed Gougy, and it does all right. This is the first time I've used it, but it did all right. Now, he lives on like 1 or 2 HP, and I was like, damn it. It was the lowest of the low roll that I could possibly get. It was, it did 96 to 112% or 102% or something. So I pretty much just got the lowest roll, which is fine. It worked out fine in the end. He goes for the Stealth Rocks there. I'm not sure why. He must have over-predicted or something, as I just go for the knockoff, just to take it out. He does have the Rough Skin and the Rocky Helmet, which is super annoying. However, I can just recover up on the Sableye, because like, I can do, like, I'm mixed defense Sableye, so I can actually take a fair bit of moves from most things. He does go into the Mew at this point, and as I said, the Dazzling Gleam is not going to be enough to be able to kill me. So I can easily just go for the cover. It's easily not going to, because the light screen's up as well. So light screen coming in clutch, really. I decided to switch out here, thinking that he's just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam again, and I can easily just switch into Entei at this point. Entei specs, it was the same set that I used for him the first time, because it puts in so much work on his team. I think it's got like Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, HP Grass, and another coverage move that I can't think of at the moment, which sort of just, really puts me in, like, it has coverage for everything. It worked really, really well. So pretty much I can just go for the Flamethrower at this point. He does go into Sizzle. A Bullet Punch at this range can potentially kill if he's Adamant max attack. It's like, it really just depends on a roll. And a Flamethrower is definitely going to take this thing out. There's no way that it won't be able to take him out. So the Bullet Punch does come in, and I live it. So I don't know what sort of set he was running, but it was definitely not enough. Oh, maybe the Reflect was up. I can't remember. Maybe not. I don't know. But it was good. So basically, the Talonflame comes out, which is his last Pokemon at this point. And then, you know, the Entei has to go down at this point. There's nothing I can really do. So Entei goes down, that's fine. I've got Diancie in the back, like sparing a crit. I've pretty much got this game in the bag now. I do end up, it was probably a bit of a silly play, but I actually ended up going into Sableye at this point, because I thought, just in case he does get a crit, at least it'll end in, like, potentially end with me winning. I know, like, it means that I don't have, like, well, it doesn't really matter differentials at this point, but it was mainly just to dwindle him down a lot further before I go into Diancie, just to make sure that I don't lose, because I was, like, threatening over a, I was completely freaking out that I would miss a Diamond Storm. I know it's like 95% accuracy, but if I was going to miss something, it would definitely be a Diamond Storm, because that's the sort of thing that would happen to me. So yeah, I go for the Diamond Storm, and I do hit it, and I'm able to take out the Talonflame, which puts me into the winning category. So I'm pretty happy with that. The first round of playoff is done, and I basically just got to go through the next one, and then it'll be the finals, I believe. However, in saying that, it's going to be pretty tough. There's some pretty tough teams left, and but I'm, you know, I don't want to be like confident or anything, but I think if I prep well, I could potentially have a way of winning. I don't know. A couple of the teams that are left are quite difficult and would be quite hard to take out. So a little bit nervous, but yeah, let's just see how I go. So if you guys enjoyed, you know, stick around. Yeah, there'll be more coming. So yeah, catch you guys later, and have a good one.